Hi dear viewers, this is Arash Kamali with another session of the website programming course on the Python programming language and the Django framework. Again, as always, a very warm welcome from me. In the previous session, we worked with a group so that we can add groups now, add or delete a user to a group, but as we said, it would be difficult to make the groups dynamic. The same goes for permissions. We learn to add, delete permissions and give a permission to a user or remove it for him. If we want to give access to the admin so that he can dynamically do these in the admin, again as we did with the groups, we would be running into some difficulty. Why? Because I don't know if this admin and what it does, what kind of permission, and for what section it has defined it. One of the easiest ways when you are making a new group or permission to have a field is to have a field in which you have set all the different sections of the site where the admin can choose from, for instance, news or other sections. And then when that section is being imported, the permissions are going to be extracted and checked, which would have a rather complex algorithms, and it will be longer. You can do it on your own, or else you can use a second method where a few groups are being defined, which will have their own accessibility for different sections such as sales operator and the main admin and etc. And then admin can add new members to these groups, or for permissions there are some default permissions such as news, sales, etc. and the admin can give access to any of these sections for the user. One of the best and easiest methods is the permissions, in which for each sections that we set on our site we make a permission, and the admin can give these permissions to the users or remove them for him. Alright, now as we did with the groups, we want to have such a page. Of course, for permissions with the name perms, short for permissions, and at first we are going to show the permissions on the side. Here we would be able to see the activated permissions that we talked about. We said if we make migrations and migrate, the default permissions will be made for us. So at first we want to show the list of the available permissions, and then we want to make a permission. First, let's make this page in our HTML. Okay, both HTML and view here, as you can see. Yep, write down, roll down. I make a copy from this function. Okay, and we set it manager perms. We want to show the permissions. Okay, and then we say perms equals what? Permission dot object dot all. Alright, okay, and then perms and perms, and let's see, and manager group would be manager perms. We need to make the page as well. We add a new file. Okay, manager, that's right, perms dot html. Okay, and let's see, we make a copy from the groups that we have over here and set it in the manager perms. Our ring would be perms. Okay, and then over here we need to make the URL. That's right. In the manager, perms, manager. Okay, perms. That's right. So here it would be managers, perms, and site. All right, permissions. That's right. Here it would be permissions. This would be add permissions. Okay, and save. Right now, let's check the page. Before we save it, what do we need? We need to here add it in the master page. Master over here is the master page. Okay, in the permissions. That's right. And then we add the permission. Okay. Yeah, perms. That's right. Okay, like this. And I refresh the page. Permission has activated. When I enter, what happens? Can you guess? The list of the permissions of the site are being shown to me. The permissions that are available in the site, I can erase them. We can use our own words and use the permissions of our own. We can add them or we can remove them by choosing them from the list. And now what? The next thing we need to do after listing the permissions is to deal with the next section, which is deleting the permissions, where we would be able to delete the permissions in our own admin, and then we need to make the add section. Okay, so that we can add new permissions after we delete the old ones.